I'm here with Jake Shelton, who's the registered manager at Wings Not School. Thanks for joining us, Jake.
Thanks for having me.
So I know this is a hard question for you to answer. I guess no 2 days are the same, but what could someone coming into the support worker role, what would be their typical day if they came and worked with you at Wings Not?
Okay, yeah, I mean, like you said, no day is the same. They are very different, but I suppose a typical day would be they arrive on shift, they do the sort of housekeeping stuff, checking. It depends when they've been on, because our shift patterns, you could be here for 2 days, so it depends at what point you're coming on. But you're coming on, you're seeing how the young people, the young person or the young people that you're working with have got on over the previous days. There might be appointments to go to. They might be having family contact that we've got to organise. The support workers here, we have like a team leader, which is sort of have oversight, so they'll get the rota, they'll know what the plan is for the day. But a lot of it is, it's sort of up to you, I suppose. Like, you come in with an agenda and an idea and the enthusiasm to say, today we're doing this. A lot of teenage kids, regardless of whether they're looked after or not, would much rather sit on their Xbox or PlayStation for 14 hours a day. So I suppose for support workers here at Wings and, all over, really, it's about coming in onto shift with ideas of how to positively engage the young people in activities, in structure, real family sort of things. And yeah, that's probably the best way I could describe it.
So, I mean, the whole point of this video is for people coming into care to look at it and see, warts and all the care sector, all the good stuff and all the bad stuff. So, what do you think the top, should we say, 3 characteristics are for someone coming into care? What should they have?
You've got to be resilient. You've really got to be resilient, because coming into this sector, what you got to think is that these children a lot of them have been to a lot of residential children's homes, or have been in a lot of situations where adults or professionals have said, I really want to help, I want to be the one to help change things, I'm here, for you, for a long term and that sort of stuff. And they've got that many people come and go. And it's usually because the children have pushed, they've tried to push them away and say, I'm going to push you as far as I can to let you know that you are sticking around.
Yeah, absolutely. I found that it's almost like a test, isn't it? When someone that we're going to stick around, they test it by, being naughty as they can sometimes, just to see if that pushes the person and they walk away, which is understandable if you've had 5 or 6 people tell you they're not going to leave and have done.
Yeah, of course, and that's your biggest challenge, definitely. I remember my first 6 months as a support worker, and I questioned if it was the right move for me several times during that. But luckily I had some really good mentors around me that said, this is normal. This is normal for you. It's normal for support workers to question, because you get a lot of they push back a lot, and I could easily sell you the dream, but realistically, like, working in care is really hard. Like, it's a tough job. You hear some really horrible things. You get called a few names under the sun. You're working with challenging children, but ultimately, once you break that first section down, and they know that no, they are here to help. They're here for the long term. The things that you get out of it is just unbelievable. So resilient would be the top one. I suppose you've got to have a sense of humour. You can't take yourself too seriously. If you've got any sort of, I don't know, critics about yourself, you need to throw them out the window. And yeah, you've just got to be able to have a laugh. I remember when I was at school, and the teachers that I remember and the people that I remember around me were the funny ones, were the ones who made me laugh, were the ones who made my time at school or wherever I went enjoyable, because I was laughing through it. And that's your mouth, your voice is the biggest and best tool that you'll ever have working in care. It can de-escalate a situation. through humour. It can, you know, be a reassuring voice to someone. So yeah, humour for me would be the second. Did you say three?
Yeah.
I suppose when I'm looking for support workers, I'm looking for someone who's got humour. I'm looking for someone who's resilient, but I'm looking for someone who's actually passionate about what they're doing. You know, passionate about making a difference, passionate about the kids that you're working with, the team that's surrounding you. You know, knowing why you're doing the job and being passionate about it in everything. You know, anything that you do, because a lot of the children that we work with, I suppose, have lost that. They've lost that. And one thing I will say is, and one thing that's a really powerful thing, is that how you behave yourself when working with the children rubs off. If you're a passionate person, you know, we're employing positive role models. If you're a passionate person with a great sense of humour and you're resilient to knockbacks, you are portraying yourself as that perfect role model for these kids, these children.
With that in mind, if you were speaking to someone coming into care, or even better, what would you tell your younger self? You know, your day one Jake walking into care. If you were his manager, what would you impart?
Well, I suppose don't be deterred by the first 6 months, because everybody goes through it. Some people don't. Some people don't, to be fair. But you know, if I was giving advice to myself, you know, the first few months working in care, it was very, you know, it was challenging and very different. And like I said, you know, the children did try and push the buttons to see if you're going to stick around. I suppose, you know, be a sponge, listen to the opinions of people around you, especially people who've been there for some time, you know, people who've experienced it, because, you know, they've been through what I and what others go through when they. And I think never forget why you applied for the job, because you get a lot of people that apply for the job because I want to make a difference. I really want to help these children, and the thought of it is amazing. And then when they get there, they realise that Rome wasn't built in a day. You know, these things take time and a lot of it. So, you know, just remember that every day that you turn up and every day that you give your all, that you are making a difference, regardless of how you feel at the end of your shift.
So, I mean, this isn't a plug for Kedleston. You know, it's about bringing people into care, and we all agree, you know, that it's on all of us to take this opportunity to bring good people into care. But if you had 30 seconds now to tell someone why they should join Kedleston, over anybody else, so okay. 30 seconds, go.
Why to join Kedleston? Okay, so I suppose if you're looking for a challenging but immensely rewarding career, and you want to work for a company that's going to support and nurture your career like they have done with me, and to work for a company with, you know, the outcomes of the children solely at the centre of everything that they do, then Kedleston's probably the company for you.
I wanted to finish on your greatest achievement, which was, I'll be honest, this is the story that made me want to do this video, because I thought it was incredible. And again, I know you're a humble person, but there was some kickback, shall we say, to this idea when it first came on the scene, wasn't it? So, do you want to tell us a little bit about it?
Myself and the team at the time decided that we were going to take 20 young people to Disneyland Paris, which initially, yeah, there was a lot of sort of worry about that, I guess.
Yeah, sure, the social workers and police and everyone thought it was a great idea at the start, did they? Or
yeah, I mean, they weren't too keen on it. But listen, we know our kids, we know our young people here, we know them well. So we put it together. You know, it took hours and hours and hours of work. You know, out of those 20 young people, we had to get 19 new passports. Now, getting a passport for a child anyway is very difficult. You do it for a looked after child where you need permissions from all sorts of people. You know, it had to go to head of services. I had to write to some head of services to say, I know you're not keen, but I am telling you this child can manage. And we got it. We got it done. We got the risk assessment done. You know, the Kedleston health and safety manager, you know, he was really helpful. You know, they all were with the funding and everything, and we got it done. And it was a 7.5 coach trip, you know, and we went on the ferry there, so it felt like we was going on holiday, you know. And we got the tunnel back, because even as an adult, when the holidays finish, you just want to get home, don't you? So got the tunnel back. We did Disneyland Paris for 2 days. We did the Eiffel Tower. We did the Arc de Triomphe. We did, you know, Paris Centre. We went along the river on the boat to see all the, you know, all the sights.
I think you've actually gone around Paris as well.
Yeah, we did the whole thing. We gave those young people an experience that they will carry for life. You know, they met Mickey Mouse, they met Minnie Mouse. If there was any characters, you know, we were stopping and wait there, 20 kids queue up. Do you know what I mean? You know, amazing. And we did it without one incident. You know, and it wasn't a smooth ride, I'll be honest with you. Halfway through, we booked a hotel and we got there and it was great. But it didn't have window restrictors, and we was on like the 3rd floor. Oh. And part of the risk assessment was that it had to. So I had to change hotels halfway through. So I had to find another hotel that fit the bill with the amount of rooms and all that halfway through, and move all the children again after they'd just unpacked. So, you know, but they were great. They loved it. You know, the staff I took were unbelievable. You know, they worked so hard, long hours.
I mean, you must be so proud of your staff and your kids, because I bet at one point, you know, everyone outside of Kedleston was saying that that's an unprecedented, you know, idea that's not going to work, and, you know, are you mad sort of thing. But I mean, fair play to your senior management team, fair play to your board for trusting in you. I believe it's an annual event now, so
so the great thing was, because we sort of said this is what we're doing, all the settings within the Kedleston Group said, yeah, we're going to do the same. So it had a knock-on effect.
Amazing. So hopefully people looking at this, you know, will give it some consideration, because, you know, we obviously want to be honest about the challenges people are going to get, but also honest about the rewards the other end. You know, it's not just a pay packet at the end of the week. It's not just a job by any means. And you can tell, I think, through your career, just how good it, you know, if you get the right group, just how good a career you can have. You know, it's not a job that sort of stops at the first level. You can go on and be in the finalist of the best manager in the whole country. So, so I mean, what a great story. And listen, thanks so much for sharing it with us.
No, I appreciate it. Listen, I appreciate your time. Genuinely, thank you.
Thank you.